Hi everyone. I'm wanting to spend these next few minutes with you giving you a challenge. It's not to sell yourself out, and instead think of the bigger picture while you're going about life. I'm wanting to break this down with you tonight during the time that we'll spend together with this video. Part of what I'm thinking about has nothing to do with being in a wheelchair or if you have a mental health illness or something else big is going on in your life. For day-to-day living, what I'm talking about are things like not cheating when you're in high school or public school doing your tests and assignments. I'm talking about things like not cutting yourself short when you're avoiding paying taxes. And as you go about life, there's constantly positions where you're going to be facing a decision whether to live on a moral basis or if you're living in the moment to please yourself, to take shortcuts, and really erode a foundation on your life that works for the long run. So I'm talking about staying the course and each day pursuing what's able to be the best for you in your life. And I know from my own life, and I mean this from my heart, not much of what I've wanted to do in life has come easy or has come quickly. A lot of it has been a process, and a lot of it has come with a lot of hard work and personal sacrifice behind it. Now, when you get to the completion, it's well worth it. But it's during that process where you could be taking shortcuts or you could be giving up. But it's that continued perseverance that pays off. I think about people who are selling themselves out and, taking shortcuts in life. You become a shell of what your potential is. So, in other words, you have the ability to do a lot with your life. And then we have the ability to make decisions on what we're going to do each day and what our goals are for a few months from now, a year, and maybe 5 years from now. I want to encourage you to not settle with what you don't have peace over settling for. I know there's some people that will be told you're not going to amount to much because of your disability. I understand that there's physical limits, or if it's with mental health, there's days where it's easier to stay in bed. But in the bigger picture, I want to encourage you to not lose track of what you're fighting for, what you're passionate about, and what your goals are in life. There's different times, when I've talked to young men who are considering suicide, and I've asked them to write out on a piece of paper what their goals are and stick it by their bed or put it by the bathroom mirror where they'll see it a few times during the day and keep themselves going through a really hard time in life. Okay, and I do understand that periodically life comes along and just pulls the carpet out from under us, and then you're left to rebuild and make the most of a difficult situation. And it was like that when I lost my ability to walk quite suddenly again in the fall of 2006. And I've had the same thing happen several times since then, where the doctor set this expectation of a surgery, and really it ended up down here for the results, and I only got a small bit of what was expected to happen. And then you're back to the point of making decisions about what you want in life and what am I going to chase after with my life. So for me, myself, I usually have short-term goals that I'm aiming for over the next few weeks. Part of it's the practical logistics of living life. Like after I'm done this video, I'm going to put homemade chicken soup on in my slow cooker. I need to be able to eat healthy over the next few months, or the next few weeks at least, and that's one of the items I'm going to be having. When we get into the few months mark, I'm thinking about things like, what's the next sort of step for growing this YouTube channel? How can I invest in your lives, and how can I encourage you? And when I start thinking about the 5-year picture, for me at least, I'm starting to think about housing that is maybe more appropriate for my body, especially since the healing hasn't been forthcoming for me, and the recovery that was expected simply hasn't materialized. So, regardless of what age you're at in life, I want to ask you to think before you act. Once you start selling yourself out and selling yourself short, it's so much easier to do it the second, third, fourth, fifth time. And you miss some of the joy that honestly comes from hard work, knuckling down, and just pressing forward in the midst of adversity. So I want to challenge you with these things today. Again, this is another video to think about and perhaps watch again in a few days from now. I hope I'm getting you thinking, but I don't intend for it to be overwhelming. This is a journey in life, and I just want to see you make the most out of your life, regardless of what's happened to you, and regardless of the challenges that you're facing. Thanks so much for this time that you've spent with me today. Bye for now.